Alright, over here at hive number 2 for a routine inspection. If my memory serves me right, they weren't doing too hot last week. And it kind of looks about the same, judging by how the honey super looks and also judging by the front entrance. There's just not a whole lot of traffic coming and going, so that's why I come out here weekly to take a look at them and see how they're doing. So if you watched last week's video, you will see me taking a few nicely developed frames. They just didn't cap them from hive number 2 here. Yeah, and I'll show you again. From hive number 2 and putting them into hive number 1, which they are definitely working, but as you can see, or maybe you can't, I see 1, maybe 2 bees in the super, which is definitely what you do not want to see this time of year. So most likely, kind of like a few other hives, unfortunately, most likely I will remove the super this week, just because this hive is just not strong enough to have a super on. And I mean, they have a decent amount of weight. It's nothing great, but yeah, we'll see how it looks this week. Really not sure what's going on with this hive, why they're struggling so much. So it's Sunday, May 24th. Our weather station says it's 80 something degrees. I think it's like 88. The humidity's around the high 60% range. And with that kind of combination, it feels like it's in the mid 90s. And I've been out here for a little bit. I just got done with hive number 1. And I am sweating way more than usual. So they have nice food stores, which is not uncommon, but I really just want to see how the brood's doing. Like I've said in the past, last year this hive performed fantastic. This was my best honey producer, and then this year they've been struggling, that's for sure. Ton of food. That's frame 3. It's got some weight to it. Nice little patch of brood on that side. You can see a whole bunch of pupated larvae throughout all the open cells. Some capped brood. They're pretty calm. There's just not a whole lot of bees in here. Well, at least not yet. That side, just below and to my right of the capped brood, is a ton of pupated larvae and eggs. So maybe the next few weeks, 2-3 weeks, we'll see them explode, which would be nice because they still have time to capitalize on the honey flow, or they should. The weather's been really weird. Speaking of weird, this would be a nice frame to see a whole bunch more eggs in, and it looks like she's just avoiding it, really. I mean, this side is, and this side faces the right. Yeah, that side has a lot of eggs in it. Maybe she just hasn't made it to the other side yet. So again, this time of year, just checking on the brood, see how they're doing. Really checking for swarm cells. And if you find any at that point, it becomes a painstaking process sometimes to find the queen. Because if you can't find the queen and you find some mature swarm or supersedral cells, you really have to make a decision. Sometimes that decision is to let them be, because again, if you can't find the queen, they may have already swarmed. I would be surprised if I find any queen cells in this colony, considering how much space they have, or the queen has. Yeah, there's eggs on this frame too. So she's doing the very typical thing, laying pretty heavy right in the center of the brood box. There's a queen cup. I'll check it in a second. See if it has an egg in it. Or I'll probably just tear it down, really. I don't remember the last time I found this queen. It may have been last week, or it may have been a few weeks by now. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of eggs on this frame as well. That was just a queen cup. No egg. It's a whole bunch of food on this frame. Some fat drones. Man, can't talk. Heat's starting to get to me. These drones are tripping me up. Keep thinking I'm finding the queen. Been doing this for a few years and they still give me false hope sometimes. Very last frame, number 10. There she is right there. She's a nice looking queen. 10th frame. Hopefully you can see her right there in the center. Let's see what she's doing. She's, I don't know. It's hard to say. She's kind of on the small side. Which, I don't know, I found a few decent frames of eggs. I mean, she's doing her thing, but there's a few factors that could be causing their slow buildup. Maybe she's just slow going to lay as much as you want. Maybe she just didn't mate that great. But honestly, this time of year, I'm not concerned with getting any honey from this hive at this point, just because it's too late in the season for us. So I'm just gonna let them keep limping along and just check back week after week and see if the hive's health changes at all. I might leave. Let's see. Let's take a look at this super real fast. Let's see what we got going on here. Because hive number 1 is definitely building up. And this colony does have, or this super does have some nice strong frames. I have another super over at the house that I removed the other day, so yeah, I'm gonna leave this off. So let's see, they don't need the queen excluder. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the super off so they just don't have the extra space, unneeded space. We're going in the wrong direction with supers. I wanted to be adding supers this year, not removing them. Alright, well, there you have it. About 10 minutes. Found hive number 2's queen on the very last frame, on the bottom of frame number 10 there. So, like I've said before, don't dismiss the outside frames, because sometimes you'll find the queen there, obviously, right? And again, moving in the wrong direction with supers. I want to be adding supers, not removing them from poor performance, but that's just how things go sometimes. So that's it for hive number 2. Beautiful Memorial Day weekend. If you can't tell, it is hot. I am sweating and the heat is starting to get to me. So they're limping along. I'll just check them week to week until about July, and then turn into bi-weekly inspections. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. It's a hot one here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Got a little bit of cloud cover, which feels fantastic. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We're on the verge of hitting 700 subscribers here kind of shortly. I think we're at 666 today, so kind of hopeful. Either way, check us out on Instagram and Facebook if you don't know about that. Cole's Farm NC for North Carolina. We'll get you there, and tune in next week for another routine hive inspection. Let's see what the front's looking like on this relatively weak hive. Yeah, pretty much no change. Looks about the same as when I started. Alright, that's it for number 2.